All right, everybody. Welcome to Tech and Prep. This will be a tech video, as the thumbnail tells you. I wanted to go over something that I've had to explain to friends and family and coworkers quite a bit, data brokers. And so I'm starting a new series, Explain Like I'm 65. So I get to explain like I'm five because you're explaining this to a child. But a lot of people I deal with they're all adults, and quite a few of them are old. Lots of boomers, lots of Gen X. And for the most part, they don't understand the technology. So that's where this series is going to be going, is explain like I'm 65. So, my parents were 80 before they passed. And so I understand that generation doesn't understand these things very well. So I want to go over what a data broker is. So basically, a data broker is a company that collects your information, personal consumer information. They get it from different sources. And what they do is they will aggregate it into a profile. And that profile is such that they'll get it from your phone, they'll get it from your internet browsing, they'll buy it from different companies. So let's say you go down to Jiffy Lube and you pay for their oil changes, which I would never go to, but let's say you do. And they get your email address and they get your phone number, first and last name. Well, that information is in that database. Not saying that Jiffy Lube does this, but they could sell that database to a data broker for whatever. Private garage can do that. Restaurants can do that. Anywhere where you give your first name, your last name, your contact information, phone number, or email address. And what these data brokers do is they collect that information and then they sell it to people to run ads. So they'll run ads against what you want. So if you went to an oil change place and your car is a Toyota, for example, or a Ford or a Chevy, then they can target ads. Or if you drive a motorcycle, they can target ads. And it goes and goes and goes. Now, there are an estimated over 750 unique data brokers that we know about in the United States alone. This is as of April 2025. And the only way to get rid of this data is to pay a company to do so, which can cost you, it can be cheap, but it can also be a couple $100s a year. And what they'll do is they'll constantly scan for this information and they'll send requests to all these different data brokers, all these 750 data brokers. And in doing so, they have to remove all that information. And they constantly are going and going and going and going and going. This will also remove you from the internet. So if you go out to Google and you Google your first name and last name, and it shows up on a website somewhere, like White Pages or, 666 data brokers. That's weird. Um, Anyhow, it'll remove you from the internet. So if you want to try and wipe your presence as much as you can from just general people Googling you, this is how you would do it, is you go and get your data removed. Now, if you don't want to pay a company, can you do it manually? You can. But what you have to do is you have to go to each one of these data brokers. You have to go on their website. You have to download the form, fill out the form, submit the form, and keep track of the form. And these data brokers can refresh their data weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. You will spend countless hours going through and doing this. I tell you, it is a huge, huge, huge pain in the ass. Now, the company that I use is called Optory. Now, there are a bunch of them. There's Delete Me, there's Optory, there's so many of them. Here's a list from PC Mag of 2025, and they go through Optory's up there. Incogni is one. You probably see a lot of influencers do commercials on Incogni. Delete Me is there. Aura is another one that's popping up. On and on and on. Now, you may question it and go, wait a minute. How many of these companies are actually owned by the data brokers? And that would be very interesting to know, but we have to assume, right? We hope that they're not. And so what you do is you go to Optory and you sign up for free. And what they'll do is they can actually do a scan of your information right here, this free one, and then it'll tell you what would happen. Now you can do the cheap one, which is the $3.99 a month. I do the $24.99, and basically it removes me from all the different sites, outdated content removal. And there's also a spot in here where you can go into the console and say, hey, I found myself on this site. Here's the URL. You send it in, submit it. They work on it, they get it removed, and on and on and on. If I go to Google and I Google my first name, last name, I Google my phone number, I'm nowhere. You can't find me anywhere. The only things you can find me on are a couple of things I posted related to a job that I can't get rid of. But otherwise, I'm a ghost. You can't find me. So I would recommend looking into this. If you have all the time in the world, sure, go for it. Do the thing manually. But if not, just sign up for a couple of these. Sign up for Incogni, sign up for Optory, run their free scans, see what they're going to give you, and then kind of start at the cheap one and kind of go from there. But my spam phone calls, my spam mail, and my spam physical mail has all caught to damn near nothing, and is worth it for me to pay the $200 something a year for that. So give it a shot. Increase your data security. Try and wipe yourself as much as you can from the internet. And if you happen to go that route, tell me who you picked. Tell me how it worked out. Let me know how it worked out. And I think it's worth the time and effort. All right, cool. If anyone else has any topics they want me to go over, shoot them in the comments or send me a message. We'll talk to you on the next video.